What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Shred Show. And not only the Shred Show, but we have episode 4 of What Borrowers Want with ICE Mortgage Technology. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, we have got a show for you today because we're talking about how data shows that today's borrowers, they don't want just cost. Of course, cost is huge. It's important, but they're really focusing on how we can close faster and having an exceptional experience throughout the mortgage process. And to meet those high demands of our borrowers, lenders, now more than ever, they need a support system that can help them build a seamless end-to-end workflow. And the largest network of mortgage technology partners in the industry, they're standing by. They want to help you. They want to guide you really to help meet your clients' needs now more than ever, also while helping you meet your bottom line. In this What Borrowers Want series, ICE Mortgage Technology executives Chris Backe, Partner Solutions Director, and Cathy Blaszyk, Director of Partner Development, are going to share a look at today's borrowers' preferences, how lenders are streamlining their workflows to meet them, and what results they are seeing. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? It is time to shred. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shred Show. And as I mentioned, this is episode 4 of What Borrowers Want with our incredible friends over at ICE Mortgage Technology. I cannot tell you how stoked I am. There has been a lot in the news about ICE Mortgage Technology. We're going to be getting into that and so much more, talking about data, talking about how you can continue to have the partners you need to dominate within this market. So let me introduce to my new friends, Chris and Cathy, hanging out with me today. Chris, Cathy, welcome to the Shred Show. Excited to have you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, great to be here.
It's incredible to have both of you here today. And let's dive right into this because we have so much to talk about. But before we do, let's get to know you both a little bit better, because anytime I have somebody new on the show, it's so much fun to hear your background, to hear how you got your start in the industry. So Cathy, tell us a little bit about how you got your start.
Man, I got into this industry straight out of college, actually way back before the internet. I'm dating myself, but I answered a job board ad and became a sales rep for a credit reporting company straight out of college. And so from there, I went into retail loan officer roles. I went into becoming a mortgage broker and shopping for my clients. So first started selling to lenders, then representing the borrowers. And then moved into correspondent lending, finally moving into data, and did a stint with Closing Core for 7 years and got to know the great folks at Ellie Mae. I was a partner and ended up joining the Ellie Mae team, which transitioned into ICE, where we are today. So I now manage the team that manage our network partners. So it's been a great run in this mortgage origination industry.
I was going to say, what a well-rounded background. I mean, everything from origination to correspondent to broker, anything and everything between. Cathy, that's awesome. So it really has helped you to understand, where lenders are coming from, where consumers are today. You kind of have that, like I said, kind of the entire gamut, being able to see that. So Chris, not going to lie, you kind of have a hard one to follow up on there, my friend, because she's basically done it all. So, but tell us a little bit how you got your start.
She really has done it all, and she's got big shoes to fill. I got my start in the sort of technology business, and I really fancied myself as more of a technologist first, not necessarily in mortgage, for the first 10 years of my career. And got my start in mortgage in 2005 and learned pretty quickly that this industry has a way of holding on to you. So I was, as they say, a boomerang. I started out with Ellie Mae back in 2005 and then left, but stayed in the industry, and then came back as part of an acquisition back in 2018. So happy to be in the industry and back in the mix with the Encompass family.
I say back in it again. And what better time? It's funny because there's a lot of people now talking about, how uncertain and some of the fears of the industry, but I say what better time to be in the industry, and what better time to have incredible partners like Ice Mortgage Technology. And that's exactly where I want to kind of take this conversation. And Cathy, I really want to start with you with this, because Ice Mortgage Technology, they're 100% known for fostering one of the absolute largest partner networks in the entire industry. And with some big changes that have happened, that's even continued to expand, which is exciting. I understand both of you, of course, you closely work with this ecosystem of partners throughout the industry, but can you share a little bit about the value that this partner network really provides and what makes this network so unique?
Yeah, it's something we're really proud of, and it didn't happen overnight. This is years and years of developing this vast, rich network. So Encompass, the LOS platform, is hugely robust, but the network just adds an additional layer to it that adds just extension of all the capabilities that our wonderful partners support our mutual clients, our lenders. So it takes you far up front to the consumer before they've even decided to buy a home. There's different CRM tools and different things up front, kind of, it's been said before, at the point of thought, and it extends all the way through the manufacturing process of mortgage origination. So each lender is different in what they do, and their workflow, their channel, how they want to do it. And so we have this incredible network that they can tap into with these already proven and live integrations that they simply are able to turn on and utilize. So it really does help them, improve efficiency, et cetera. And we have it broadly promoted in our public facing marketplace. So any lender can go to the marketplace and see what's available, and what new offerings they might want to consider.
That's incredible. And Chris, I know this is something that you see quite a bit as well. And especially as, again, this vast network of partners continues to grow and add value. What are some of the things that you've seen on the way of partnership and unique value prop that it adds?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started Ellie Mae, my first tour, I think we had maybe 24 partners on the network. And so, we're well over 1,000 partners when you consider all of the individual appraisers and title agents, and obviously the breadth of integrated partners. It really touches, like Cathy said, on all of the sort of aspects of the manufacturing process. And for as many wonderful things that Encompass does, and the things that ICE has produced or acquired to bring technology to bear for our customers, we really rely on the partner network to extend those capabilities beyond our own technology so that each of the lenders gets what they need. And each lender is a special snowflake, so you got to have a lot of options.
You nailed it right there. You do have to have a lot of options. And I think what is so amazing about Ice Mortgage Technology and the entire team is there can seem like there's so much, but that's why there's a team behind guiding you, leading you, helping you to know what truly is helping you with that bottom line, especially right now. What is helping you focus on what you need to, not just so you're not spread out, so your attention is going this way and that. Again, that's why it's such an incredible partnership with ICE, is because they're like, hey, yes, this may seem a lot to it, but let us guide you through this process, which kind of leads me into where I want to go with this next, Cathy, because there's a lot of trends. There's a lot of things that have happened in 2023. And God, can you believe it? I hate even saying it, but we're nearing the end of 2023 and we're heading into 2024. So what are some of the trends that you're seeing, and how can we leverage a partner network like ICE Mortgage Technology has created to really help lenders meet the borrower's needs and their demands of right now and the future?
Yeah, it's we have a lot of data in a variety of ways, and one of those things is we do survey borrowers, and we had a survey earlier this year from the borrowers that kind of said 2/3 were planning on doing some sort of new financing, and it's challenging because I think we have 60% of the mortgage market is under 6%, something huge in the nation. So you don't think a lot about refinancing. However, the home equity line is definitely something that is happening. A lot of borrowers are retaining their homes, but wanting to, take out cash to buy another home or do home improvement. So you have a lot of that going on. Data is just huge, and how you utilize data. So it's a trend that we see. just to make it more efficient for borrowers, keeping the cost down, like you said, and also just, understanding how we can get more borrowers into homes, that type of thing. So it's just having the information, the programs available, so lenders are relying on having that information.
I think that is one of those things that giving them that there is so much data. It's amazing, and especially a partner like ICE is able to help you understand it all and break it down into bite-sized, usable aspects of our business. And that's why being able to leverage a partnership and leverage a partner network like that is so important. So, Chris, what are your thoughts on this? What are some of the trends that you're seeing, and what are some of the ways we can really leverage that partner network that ICE has created?
Yeah, I think I'd echo a lot of the same things that Kathy already touched on. Certainly, we're in market conditions right now where obviously there's no refi opportunities. There's not a lot of people moving from one home to the next, just given the current rate market. But um, there are a lot of people with equity in their homes, so that is still sort of a vein of gold, if you will, not just for the borrower, but for lenders as well, trying to service their customers. And going back to the data thing, I see a big trend towards lenders trying to keep customers for life. And a big piece of maintaining that relationship is accumulating data that's usable. So for those borrowers that are working on a new loan product with their lender, to be able to pre-populate an application to take some of that load off of them, or to provide connectivity to the various verification partners that we have to make that process easier for the borrower is a big trend that we're seeing.
That is a big trend. And actually, you hit on something. Creating that customer for life, or creating that lifetime value, is something that we're seeing now more than ever. And something that, Kathy, I want to kind of chat with you about. It's really no surprise with today's rates. We all know they're at historic highs. For our times, as you mentioned, there's a lot of people with great low rates, but now more than ever, seeing the rates where they are, saving money, it's a priority. That's what our borrowers want. That's what our clients want. That's what our customers are needing. And with origination costs well over reaching, $13,000, which is crazy, this topic is incredibly forefront of lenders' minds as well. So how are you seeing lenders successfully keep costs down and passing those savings along to their clients and consumers?
Yeah, well, it's obviously having efficiency, and you have got to keep the origination costs down so that you can pass it on to the consumer. So efficiency is key. The other thing I think Chris touched upon about, a borrower for life. This is something I remember from my origination days, and I was blessed to have a lot of referrals. You do a good job, you're knowledgeable, and people will come back to you or refer to you. And that really is the vision for ICE, is that customer for life. And um, if you can have customers coming back to you, and you don't have to pay so much up front to try to have that funnel of customers, strangers coming in your door, that's a savings. And part of the acquisition of Black Knight is to have that servicing piece. So now we've got this end to end, all the way through, with the data behind it, so that a lender who takes the time to originate and successfully close a loan can stay in touch with that consumer the whole way through, including during the servicing years. That to me is a huge cost savings, just to have that customer that knows you come back through the door. If they need something else in the future, or they have a family or friend that needs help in the future, to refer to that same originating lender. So that's, I just think, really huge. Why reinvent the wheel when you can have the same kind of customer coming back to you over the years, and that dedication
It is.
relationship?
Yeah, why reinvent the wheel? I 100% agree with you. And Chris, I know that's something with your focus. I'm sure you're seeing a lot of this as well. How are you seeing lenders successfully keep costs down and really passing that along to our consumers right now?
Yeah, I mean, in our recent survey, two-thirds of lenders told us, and borrowers, that you know saving money on the cost of the loan was one of their top three concerns. And so, there's a couple ways to do that. One certainly is to reduce hard costs. Verification is a key area where lenders are reducing costs through waterfall techniques, or just by simply asking for verifications later in the process when they're more certain that that loan is going to convert. Another way is more the soft costs, and this goes into where lenders are using Encompass, that source of truth, to do those verifications and pull data automatically back into the system, but also to place those orders automatically. And again, going back to our study, what we found is when you're able to bring those verification processes into the system in an automated way, you can reduce your cost by as much as $21 per loan. So those are hard costs that go directly to the bottom line.
And people may not think that's a lot, Chris, but that is in the grand scheme of things, that's a huge amount. And anything right now, any opportunity, whether it's $5 or $21, whatever it may be, those savings, we get to pass those along in the long run to our consumers, to our customers. And that's ultimately what we're after. Again, as I mentioned, we want to create a great experience, but 2/3, Chris, 2/3 of borrowers and lenders, like, if that's what is a big point of interest for our clients right now, that's something we need to be focused on. So I think this is just, and it's going to continue as we're in the rate environment that we are, as we're in the market that we are. We have to keep these things top of mind and forefront for us. And again, discussing them as we are today, and having a great partner like ICE Mortgage Technology to help guide us through this. We can get through this. We all know we've all been in this long enough to see the ebbs and the flows, the ups and the downs. It happens every single. It's a very cyclical industry, and so anybody who's been in it long enough understands that this is just another one of those times. We're focusing on the right data, having the right partners. We're gonna get through it. It just may be a little bit more trying and testing for all those who are involved, but that's not a bad thing. Cathy, I want to jump to you because I was actually surprised to learn that from today's borrowers consider an exceptional customer experience almost as critical as getting the best rate, which again, we're all about the experience, but that's almost as important as getting the best rate, the best pricing, just as Chris was talking about. So what defines an exceptional experience, and what tips do you have to help lenders impress their clients, Cathy?
Well, think about the frustration factor. So maybe you can end up with an eighth of a rate better than somebody else, but you went through hell to get that rate. I think that's why borrowers are saying it's not worth it to me to save $50 a month or $100 a month to have that kind of frustrating experience. So that's why having a good experience, and kind of going back to, if you have a good experience, you're more likely to go back to that same originator, that same lender organization to repeat the process. So it's really, really important. And, you always talk about technology, but we also talk about high touch. And I actually can tell you firsthand, I just closed on a house. I moved out of state, closed a week ago today, as a matter of fact. And I worked with completely strange team, didn't know I was referred to the realtor who referred me to the lender. But it was a great experience that included technology, which I appreciated, to upload documents and see real time what were conditions and all of that. But then it was the personal. I was able to text and get questions answered and all of that. So it was an element of, technology and high touch. And so that really is important. And having that good experience is as important as having a good rate. You want the whole thing. I mean, we want what we want. And so it's really, really important to have both. I mean, I don't think you can have one without the other. And I think we also had a survey as part of our borrower survey that said that fewer than 1 in 10 borrowers wanted a fully digital experience. So they do want that personalization. And I didn't meet with the loan officer in person. We did phone calls, all of that, but yet there was a level of trust that I could tell this person knew what they were doing. So you've got to be knowledgeable. The lenders have to be knowledgeable. Their loan officers have to be knowledgeable, and give the borrower a very good, seamless, friction-free experience.
It's interesting that you hit on all those points, Cathy, and Chris. I'm interested to know your thoughts on this too. But in a world of technology, I mean, ICE Mortgage Technology is known one of the absolute best and greatest when it comes to being a technology company. But as you just shared in your experience, Cathy, it was still being able to interact, being able to have those conversations, having those human interactions. Chris, you mentioned automation earlier. And in an industry where automation and AI, and that is kind of the newest, latest, greatest buzzword, not to say that those things aren't going to be incredibly helpful, but when it comes down to it at the end of the day, Chris, barbers still want that interaction with human beings.
They do. They do. And again, I do think it's a balance. We are in a cyclical business. And when we've surveyed customers in the past, what they tend to tell us is that, when interest rates are high and volumes are lower, they get a better loan experience than when volumes are low and interest is high. And so what that suggests to us, and if you think about history, typically the industry will respond to an increase in volume by throwing more bodies at the problem. And while it helps with the customer touch aspect, eventually, customer satisfaction decreases because there isn't the right balance of high touch to high tech. So right now is a really good time for lenders to think about, how do you prepare for the next increase in volume? It's a great time to look at areas where you can improve process, either fully automate or update integrations that provide a better experience, so that when the next boom happens, and we know it's going to happen, interest rates aren't going to stay this way forever, that with the folks that you have, you can continue to provide that high touch, but really leverage technology to address those sort of automatable things that you can address.
So, Chris, let's stay with that for a second, because in this arena, your data found that 50% of today's borrowers identified good communication and follow-up as important to them when selecting a lender, as 40% said transparency is most important. So how can lenders really leverage technology to more easily stay connected with the borrower?
Yeah, I think some of it, I think about it as something like a contact strategy, right? And it's easy to do if you're a loan officer and you just have a handful of customers that you need to follow up with to keep in contact with them throughout the loan process. That's pretty manageable. But when volumes start to go up and you get inundated, it's just like a full restaurant. The waiters get taxed and it becomes harder and harder to provide good service. So this is a great opportunity to leverage technology to do those mundane follow-up. So I'll again refer to it as a contact strategy. At a certain point in the loan process, send out an email or send out a a text, or better yet, pop up a phone call that alerts the loan officer, hey, it's a good idea to call this customer right now. So again, it's leveraging technology for those critical people that are on the front lines to know when to contact their customers, and then in the background send those sort of automated text or email communications on their behalf.
So with that, I mean, as you've mentioned, automation is part of it. There's still a very huge opportunity when it comes to the actual touch of a mortgage professional. When it comes to our lenders, when it comes to us working directly with the consumer, we need to have that. And Cathy even mentioned with the automation with 1 in 10, it really is, it's a fine line. And who knows where our industry will continue to evolve. The one constant, we can all agree, the one constant in the mortgage industry is change. We're always evolving, we're always growing, we're always learning, which is a good thing. It's great opportunity for all of us. So as you've both mentioned, I think there's so many incredible opportunities for us, and having a partnership like ICE Mortgage Technology, having somebody to help us through a time like today, is more important than ever. I want to switch gears here for a second. And Cathy, you hinted at it a little bit, but there's been a lot in the news over the last few months leading up to this, and I couldn't sit down with you today asking about ICE's recent acquisition of Black Knight. This is a huge opportunity, and now with the diversity of Optimal Blue, how will that impact what's available to customers via your partner network?
Well, we're really, really excited about the acquisition. It just, like I said, it's our vision of extending the capabilities of what ICE can offer in the origination process and streamlining it. As it relates to Optimal Blue, they've been an amazing partner. I actually worked with them directly when I first came over to Ellie Mae /ICE. So they were an amazing partner before being acquired by Black Knight, an amazing partner during their tenure under Black Knight, and we're excited to see the partnership while they're under Constellation. And we have a lot of mutual customers that love their service. And I guess that's the thing I want to really stress to your audience, is that we are an open platform. And yes, ICE has native solutions on Encompass that might compete with other solutions on the network, but because we are open and we offer choice, it really is up to the lender to who they want to work with and why. And there's a variety of reasons. So we have our own product and pricing engine, we have our own doc solution, and yet we have many partners supporting our mutual customers with those same solutions. So it really is exciting. And what I wanted to touch upon too is I love the innovation that's taking place with our partners. It's not just, in the beginning, as Chris said, when he first came on, it was a handful of partners, maybe 12, and it was the typical title, appraisal, flood. You're now getting into these incredible, unique service offerings, and things like robotics, and there's home ownership counseling that is kind of a new twist, taking in data that understands what the local programs are. So there's just a lot out there that I love watching come across. So we're really excited to see where this is all headed.
There, you talked about how exciting of a time it is, because it really is an exciting time. The innovation that is happening right now more than ever, and as both of you have hit on, it has grown from a couple of dozen of partners to thousands in the network now. And again, that may seem overwhelming to some, but that's why ICE is such an incredible partner. Because to your point, Cathy, to one lender, there may be a solution that isn't a perfect fit for another lender. That's what is so incredible with the entire partnership and collaboration network that ICE Mortgage Technology has brought together here. To me, there was some concern. There were some people, nervous about this acquisition. I'm like, this is amazing. This is going to continue to bring our industry together to help us have an all-in-one, an end-to-end network of incredible partnerships. So to me, I was stoked for it. I was like, let's see this baby grow and thrive, and really allow us to have the technology, to have the data, to have everything we could possibly need to focus on the consumer, to get with them, because that's what we're all in this for, ladies and gentlemen. We want to help the American achieve that dream of home ownership. That's what we want to see. We want to give them the best possible pricing. We want to get the best experience, and it's a win-win for all of us. And this is why I was so excited for this. So lastly, I want to hit on this. I know we're starting to run out of time here, and I want to be respectful of both Chris and Cathy's time, because this has been such an amazing conversation. But Chris, let's start with you on this. What advice do you have for lenders, really on any steps that they can take right now on delivering that experience that maximizes the conversions both today and when the next wave of opportunity comes?
Sure. Well, I get the luxury of being able to meet with lots of lenders to talk to them about just this topic, just around network optimization, how they can leverage the network to extend the capabilities of Encompass. And I think one of the main things that I would tell lenders is we're at a very important point of transition from an integration standpoint. So there is a lot of legacy integrations that we've had in place for years to support different services integrated into Encompass. And we launched a little over a year ago the Encompass Partner Network, or EPC, or Encompass Partner Connect. And so it's very important that lenders are looking at providers that are developed on EPC as they're thinking about their next steps moving forward. One of the key things that an EPC integration enables is not just automated service ordering that we've touched on a little bit here, but also the ability to place orders through Encompass on the web. And while many lenders aren't quite ready for their web strategy, it is coming. So being prepared from that standpoint and being sure to choose the partners that are on EPC is vital. I want to take an opportunity to make a plug for the marketplace, the Encompass Marketplace, which hopefully many lenders have been on, is where all of our integrated partners are listed, and a specific listing of EPC partners is there as well. So If you're thinking about a new service provider for any reason, instead of Googling them, go to the marketplace, because you know they're integrated, they're vetted. We've gone through a security protocol with them, so it's a big leg up. Or call me. I'm happy to help you find the right partners.
And again, we go back to the incredible team, Chris, even being able to reach out to you directly, having those conversations. But like you said, you guys have put this incredible network together. Stop Googling it, go within the network and actually find out. They've been vetted. They're the ones who are tried and true and trusted within this incredible industry. So Cathy, let's end with you on this. What are some of the steps that you're really seeing that lenders can be taking to maximize that experience and increase conversions both for today and for the future?
Money to make money. And I know times have been difficult, especially this year. The revenue is down for the lenders, but this is the time. There was another survey that said they weren't embracing technology as fast. And a lot of what we heard before was they were drowning in refis, and they couldn't, after COVID and the refi boom, they couldn't lift their head to look at technology. This is the time to invest in technology and really streamline the process. Keep your good. We're not talking about replacing humans, your full-time employees, but make it more efficient. And also, I would recommend investing in your loan officers, your originators, to make sure that if a borrower comes or a prospect comes across their desk, that they can properly counsel them. If they're not eligible to buy now, they know how to counsel them to get them into position to buy in the future, and also understand the local. There's a down payment assistance program. So really have an educated staff, because Josh, you hit the nail on the head, and it is the American dream, and that is the one constant I think in this industry. As long as I've been in it, everyone has the dream of home ownership. And we want to make it accessible to more people. And that's something that ICE is working closely with the GSEs on, with our partners and our lenders. How do we solve this problem of making homeownership more accessible and getting more people, to enjoy owning a home? So that is definitely something that we're going to be working on, into 2024 and beyond.
What a better way to end. That was incredible, Cathy. It's like that mic drop on that one. She knew exactly what to say and how to end this episode. But both Chris and Cathy, I cannot thank both of you enough for all that you have shared. Like I said, there's so much that we have dived into on this episode and so much more that we are going to. But Chris and Cathy, thank you so much for sharing all the wisdom and expertise and knowledge that you did today.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, it was awesome. Appreciate it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is just the tip of the iceberg, as we have shared. And that's what this series is all about. The data is such an incredible resource that everyone should be utilizing, so we can ensure we are delivering the right experience to each and every one of our borrowers. And I can't wait to continue to dive deeper with you. So stay tuned for upcoming episodes and conversations with ICE Mortgage Technologies executives and industry leaders to learn a lot more about what borrowers want, including how we can support the need for more flexible loan options, which is a huge opportunity right now. And not only that, but cost savings, and where there's huge opportunity to become an educational resource and trusted partner for first-time home buyers. So make sure you stay tuned for upcoming episodes. As always, we appreciate you. We love you. Now it's time for all of you to go shred. Show up, hustle, repeat every day. See ya.